Diamond for, God, 6 years or more. And we are doing a really special interview with him backstage in his VIP dressing room, which you can park a car in here. It's so big.
Yes, it is. And only Kansas will treat you that good, trust me.
That's right. So Ron, tell me about your shows. You have evolved these things over the last 3-4 years.
Yeah, well, this, counting last year's not having a fair, this would have been my 17th year here. So it's been 16 years. I try to, people expect me to do some of the same kinds of things they're used to seeing because they'll bring their friends and say they want to see this. And no, even when I repeat stuff, it's never the same because you never know what people are going to do with it. But I always have new material for people to enjoy. I've got about 8 or 9 new routines this year that's going over pretty cool.
That's awesome. So your crowds, from the time you start till all the way till the end of the fair, they just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Why do you think that is, my man?
All I can say is that if people are here, this is one of the places they like to come. And I like to think it's because I've been here one long enough, the word's gotten out. And the second is, people love to have a good time. And when you come here, if you're in the mood to laugh, if you come to my show and you don't walk out and haven't laughed, you need to go to the hospital. Because it's all about the fun.
So, the last couple months, I don't know why this is, but I have been interviewing a lot of hypnotists on the radio show. I interviewed this guy who proclaims to be UK's fastest hypnotist, and all of you guys have the exact same thing that you say, which is, if you don't want to be hypnotized, you ain't going to be able to get hypnotized.
That's correct, because it's not about, the truth is, people don't realize this, but a hypnotist is not who hypnotizes. You hypnotize yourself. All a hypnotist has done, that's why when he calls himself the world's fat boy, that means he's using a different technique that's designed to work that way. But you have to be willing. The techniques I use are different. I usually take about 3 minutes on stage, but I'm dealing, I can assure you the world's fastest hypnotist, he's dealing mostly one-on-one at a time.
Yes.
Say, well, you still
you've got a huge group.
You can't do it that fast. But even as fast as I do it, it's all about showing people how to do it, not making people do it. That's the difference.
So, what do you think over the years has been some of your more difficult moments out there performing?
Well, the difficult moments are, and these are the ones I feel sorry for. I always say a hypnotist that has no other skill sets are setting themselves up for a lot of headache, because I have more than one skill set. I do 2 types of shows. Because the scariest part of doing hypnosis is when you get in an environment like we had the last few days, on the weekdays where it's super, super hot, not a lot of people that are here early, but you're scheduled for an early show, and you don't have enough volunteers without forcing the show. There's nothing harder to watch than a bad hypnosis show that people are being begged to be in or forced to be in. It doesn't work. So I have a different show that I use with the entire audience, in which it takes the pressure off of feeling like I've got to be always on, no matter how many people have.
That's awesome. So you've had a lot of success. I know, probably 5-6 years ago, you and I had done another interview, and you said that you have a night show, and you have done that out here several times, and it's had a lot of success. Talk to us about that.
Well, this end of the fairgrounds would generally, after my last show, would be pretty much going dead. Everybody was working toward the other end. And I got to thinking, there's plenty of daylight, but as it starts getting dark, wouldn't we need to do a nighttime version? You don't have to do it every day. We didn't do it every night, but on the weekends, we decided on Friday and Saturday a couple of years ago to do like a 9 o'clock show. So we could do lighting, and it would be dark, and you could have effects, and it would be like a concert. And it went over well enough that that's what we do now. I'm no longer doing the nighttime because it's better to do music, that we've proved it works. So now they're doing 3 nights, Saturday night, last night, and tonight. They got really top name bands on here doing light show and all these effects that make the show look like the grandstand in a mini version.
That's fantastic.
I think so too.
Well, you should be proud of the fact that you had an idea, you presented it, you made it work, and now it's taking a
Yeah,
life
and
of its
that's a
own.
lot of credit to the fair who was open-minded.
Yeah.
And they had really nothing to lose because it didn't cost anything to give it a try.
Oh, yeah.
All we did was just shuffle the schedule around to make it work. The thing that was also nice is it's allowed us to, especially on the busy nights, we were able to separate the shows enough to have enough time between to not feel so pushed for getting ready to go.
Yes. So you go all over the place. Kansas loves your show. It loves you. What are some of the other states that you go to where you have huge reactions?
My favorites are, for some reason, there's something about you Midwestern people that are just absolutely incredibly fun. There are parts of the country that the culture of some areas of the country, I won't name it because but there are areas of the country where culturally people consider it a weakness if they laugh in public. So they'll be straining up the gut to try not laugh at anything because they think they're being weak. That's what I love. Iowa and Kansas are second to none in this country for people wanting, if they're having fun, people don't mind letting you know they're having a good time. And anyone that's a performer will tell you, when you get energy from the audience, there's energy in the show.
Yes. Well, one of the things that I find, and it's probably just because it's the same thing, but you do comedy and it works. Whereas there are other places in this town where they have done comedy and people will sit there with their arms folded and they have this look on their face like, make me laugh. And I'm like, stand-up comedy doesn't work, but your form of comedy works like gangbusters.
Two secrets. Longevity.
Okay.
When you first start out, you work it. But it's really about, in my opinion, it's really about getting the people on your side by becoming them. I try to endear myself to an audience and saying, look, I'm just like you. Oh, I just happen to be leading the band. And what that does is it gives them the freedom to feel not intimidated by me, or me intimidated by them, and it makes me just a normal human being. And they loosen up a lot better.
That's fantastic. Well, Ron, it's always a pleasure, my friend. I always love chatting with you, love seeing your shows. And before we let you go, how do people get a hold of you on the web, social media, all that?
Basically, you can go Ron L. Diamond on Facebook.
Okay.
And I'm pretty much a Facebook guy. It's about all I have time for. And then hypnosismagic.com, you can catch me there.
Fantastic.
And then last but not least, just as an aside, we're on the middle part of the week, and the fair's going gangbusters, and we're going to have shows. I've got 2 more nights. I'm off on Thursday. I'm on Friday evening, and then Saturday and Sunday will be a 1 o'clock or like a 12 and 2 on Saturday, and a 1 and 3 on Sunday.
That's fantastic.
Thank you, God.
And thanks for watching, Jiggy Jag. Well, you are tremendous. You are always just the man when it comes to